So drivers for a middle layer, what is this all about? Well, I see this as being three key drivers. There's appetite for reusing legacy assets, and there's some good reasons for that, right? They've got existing products, the integration works. You can reuse these things rather than going through that heart and lung surgery to rip that out and replace it, avoid all of that risk. And actually, one of the observations here is legacy systems are often cheap to run. They're stable, they work, right? But perhaps they're not in the right place. And that brings us to participating in a digital ecosystem. So one of the things I often say to brokers, MGAs, insurers, vendors to the insurance market is that it's always been an ecosystem. Lots of participants in there, reinsurers, reinsurance brokers, very collaborative industry. But now a lot of that collaboration is happening through APIs, through automation, through machine to machine discussion. And actually, that's part of the key here. So, participating not just in an ecosystem, but a digital ecosystem enabled by APIs, enabling customer engagement, distribution, data enrichment, claims resolution. We'll talk about some of those shortly as well. The third key driver is one that's been around forever and is perpetually there for insurers. They always want to go quicker. So we call this agility, but it's about partly around faster delivery of new propositions to market, reducing cost of that. And actually, once you can go faster and at lower cost with this sort of change, you enable innovation as well. And this is a key enabling capability that insurers are looking for. But there's some challenges, right? Legacy is not good at doing APIs. Legacy systems typically predate some of the APIs, and even relatively modern systems can have APIs that maybe aren't quite up to scratch for a modern digital ecosystem. So there's some tension there between reusing those existing assets, but being a participant in a digital ecosystem. Equally, point number 7 on here, legacy systems were often built before this idea of DevOps. There's lots of engineering discipline that's changed in recent years. As we look at agility, as we look at that speed to market, the arrival of DevOps, increased interest in low and no code solutions as well. We've got faster at building things, and some of these legacy systems were built before many of those innovations came to fruition. So there's a natural tension there in terms of legacy pulls against the agility that we could deliver, but there still feels like there's an opportunity to get that speed, be that participant in a digital ecosystem without having to sacrifice or replace all of those things that we've invested in over the last decades within the insurance industry. So, why are insurers looking at this idea of a middle layer, a middle office? Well, actually, it's partly in response to these drivers. So let's get our arms around what does the insurance middle layer is. What does it do?
Welcome to eBaoTech Cloud InsureMO and Digital Core. InsureMO was launched to the public back in 2016 and today has over 200 customers and handles over 1 million insurance transactions per day on a global basis. The entry point to all our eBaoTech Cloud solutions is the InsureMO web portal. You can find it at www.insuremo.com. Using a microchip analogy, we built InsureMO to serve as the chip to power your insurance ecosystem. What we observe is the back office systems typically bear the workload for the majority of transactions, and yet the technology is typically not geared up to handle the rapid expansion of digital insurance. Whether that be the rate of adding and changing the products, the cost of making the changes, or the ability to connect and scale to support all the various external parties, mobile apps, and customer services, all these factors create a lot of technology complexity that the back office systems simply don't handle very well. The result is that many companies are looking to solutions like InsureMO to address these challenges.